Hey all, good morning and welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. I'm on a holiday mood with the weekend just starting. I'm also celebrating because I've lost 2.1 kilos in over 2 months since I started intermittent fasting. I had done intermittent fasting unsuccessfully in the past because it's very difficult to keep track of the gains and the continuity of the fasting. But in the past couple of months, I think I have been much more consistent. I started using an app called Fastic. Of course, they're not sponsoring this video or anything. I'm just disclosing that I used an app called Fastic. I think it's available only on Apple platform, iPhone. So it has kept me motivated. It's got a whole lot of tracking information and it provides data on the progression, shows improvement. So it's been really good for me and it's kept me motivated. So after 2 months of consistent fasting, I've lost 2.1 kilos. I'm now at 87.9 kilos. I'm about 6 feet tall. I think, as per the BMI charts, I need to be at 78.3 kilos. So it's a long trek still. I'm at the very borderline of acceptability. So I've got to lose many more kilos and to keep working on this. It's going to take a long time. And Today, I want to talk to you about myself and some new research, diabetes, and genomics. So let's get started. Welcome back, friends. We're all focused on earning more and making investment that give us a superlative rate of return. Obviously, the core of the motivation is to do whatever it is to have a good retirement. In fact, the singular pursuit of wealth dominates the prime years of our life. One thing that I realized early on in my life is that health is the greatest wealth you can possess. I learned this because earlier in my career, when I was given a great opportunity to lead multiple lines of business and multiple brands in a part of Western India, the reason I got that opportunity was that my predecessor was a young man who was driven, who was a very driven professional, who produced superlative billings and results for 5 years in a row and was promoted to the national level management. Unfortunately, he died at a young age of around 40 and in office. He had a massive heart attack. His role was left unfulfilled for almost a year with no takers. I took over the role as I thought it was a great opportunity. But once I went to the office and started working with the people that he had worked with before, those people would tell me about the aftermath of his passing on his family and friends. The company continued to flourish. He was replaced by me, but his family was devastated, and the continued to prosper. I then started looking at my own family closely, around my own life, and around the same time, my dad was admitted to hospital due to complication arising from type 2 diabetes. I saw him pass away within a year after that. Then his younger brother, my uncle, also passed away due to complication from diabetes. It was a very big wake-up call for me. I was still too young to retire, but decided that I would put in a spurt of efforts to reach my retirement goals. And in any case, I would retire by 50. It did not make sense to suffer pain and stress and progressively lose my health trying to earn for my retirement, only to spend it all on relieving the pain of having diabetes in retirement. So I just retired around the time that I turned 50. That was almost 9 years ago. This retirement was also not complete as I continued to try and find what would interest me to keep me happy in retirement. I tried a few things, including a full-time course on home building and learned the basics of all the trades that are in home building, like plumbing, electrician, drywalling, tiling, the whole works. And then I went on to qualify as a real estate broker. So I'm a certified real estate broker in Toronto. So at this point of time, whenever I do any assignment for a client, I'm absolutely comfortable because I know how the houses are constructed, what to look for, how to value the houses. Of course, that's not what I do as a real estate broker, but having that knowledge at the back of my mind helps me to be confident in what I'm doing. And also, I use my time and skills to manage my stock and real estate portfolio, which is for my retirement. And also, I help new immigrants find accommodation in Toronto when they arrive here without any references or support. This has been quite rewarding, and it helps me share all that I have learned and lay a foundation of a good life for new immigrants to Toronto. And it also helps me build a community. So many Indian immigrants, when they come to Toronto, they get referred to me by my friends and other people whom I have helped. And I help them to settle down here, even if it means that they cannot afford a condo and they just go into an apartment. I don't get any commissions. I don't mind. It's the interaction with the people and looking at them establish a good foundation in life and growing further from there and be part of my community is what is important to me, and it's very satisfying. You might ask, Raj, how are you getting philosophical? Where are you going with this? Well, I'm going towards a proper topic today. Today, I want to talk to you about a new finding that may potentially help us to understand and handle type 2 diabetes better. The revelation comes from a study of hibernating bears. Imagine if a human ate tens of thousands of calories a day, ballooned in size, then barely moved for months. The health outcomes would be catastrophic. Should it not lead to type 2 diabetes? And how does a bear not get diabetes? That's the big question. And people are now starting to ask that question, and that's fortunate for us because they may come up with some answers that can help manage diabetes much better. We all know that insulin is a hormone found in most mammals that regulate the body's blood sugar levels by telling the liver, muscle, and fat cells to absorb blood sugar as source of energy. But if a lot of blood sugar enters consistently into the bloodstream, over time the cells get desensitized and stop responding. This means that they are now insulin resistant. This is a precursor condition to diabetes and is a leading cause of type 2 diabetes. The presence of this condition progressively leads to deterioration of various types of cell in the body. It weakens the heart muscles and it causes heart attacks, it causes strokes, and it causes blindness. About 37 million people have type 2 diabetes. However, unlike humans, bears can mysteriously control their insulin resistance, turning it on and off like a switch. It turns out that bears do develop insulin resistance during hibernation. However, that blood sugar and insulin levels remain stable. They do not progress to diabetes. And by the time spring rolls around, the bears are out and about again. Their insulin sensitivity is clicked back on. And understanding how exactly a bear achieves that feat could be important to understand type 2 diabetes in humans and to find a strategy of how to reverse that or manage it or control it for a better outcome or better quality of life for humans who are suffering type 2 diabetes. Scientists at the Washington State University Bear Center say they have zeroed in on 8 proteins that appear to keep the hibernating grizzlies diabetes-proof. They analyzed blood serum and fat cell samples taken from grizzly bears housed in the university's Bear Center. Some samples were taken during active season, the others were taken during hibernation. For a 2-week period during hibernation, the researchers fed the bears honey water, somewhat disrupting the animal's normal routine. Then in the lab, the researchers continued combining different cell cultures and serum samples that were taken from the hibernation period and off the hibernation period. They mixed the sample fat cells from hibernation season with serum from active season to analyze how the bears' altered gene activity in the cells performed. When the researchers put the serum from the disrupted hibernation periods into cells taken from regularly hibernating bears, they found that those cells showed changes in gene activity similar to that of cells from active season. That allowed the researchers to hone in on 8 proteins that appears key to the switch between insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity. Scientists believe that although bears and humans are clearly different, studies like this can point to new genes and proteins involved in insulin resistance. We also have VCTX210 and VCTX211 for type 1 diabetes, with VCTX212 and for type 1 and type 2 diabetes from CRISPR Therapeutics. So there are 3 gene therapies in the pipeline. Of these, VCTX211 is in the IND enabling stage and VCTX212 is in research stage. Any cure or better management of diabetes will improve quality of life and life expectancy significantly. So on behalf of all families that have diabetes in their family tree, I'm quite happy with the development and hope to see more therapies being delivered in the next 5 to 7 years to better manage and cure this condition. If we understand how those 8 proteins enable switch on and off insulin resistance in the cell, we can reverse the insulin resistance that has been developed in humans so that they can avoid getting into diabetes stage in the first place. Well, friends, that's all I have for today. It's a wonderful weekend and I plan to enjoy it. Potentially, I might possibly break the fast, or maybe I'll have a hearty meal, continue staying in the fast, but have a nice dessert to go with it because I have a irresistible sweet tooth. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend today, and I hope you also have a great weekend and have a great time with your family. And if you like this video, you know that you can press the like button and make me happy. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and let me know that you find my work interesting. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.